Welcome. If you have found this video, obviously you're looking for information on decking and undecking trucks. I made a video earlier, never posted it because it was too long. I guess with YouTube you have to make sure your videos will fit within a 15-minute window. So I'm going to try to make this down and dirty, quick and straight to the point as fast as I can, giving you the most information that I can. I'd like to start. My name is Lawrence. I am the owner of a trucking business, and been trucking for about 2 years. And I decided when I got my license that obviously you need to get some experience. So I just finished my military career, retired after 29 years, and then I ended up with a license, Class A for trucking, and just professional driving. So that's what leads me to this video. And I want to talk about decking and undecking trucks. Anyway, let's get started. So I was with a company that it was union. I finally made it to a union company, and I like the way the work. I like the amount of work I was doing, the type of work I was figuring out things. I like to problem solve. Anybody who's interested in keeping in mind will definitely like problem solving, and you'll run into quite a few problems as you are working in trucking, in this type of trucking, decking and undecking. All right, so transport and undeck delivery. Is it okay? Or delivery. That's what we're doing. Most of the time you will be undecking the trucks and not decking them yourself. People deck those trucks for you. At this company I was with, they deck them for you. You just pick them up and then you start driving and take them to delivery locations. All right. So one thing you want to know about transport and undecking. What is undecking? All right. Undecking is uncoupling vehicles that are attached either by saddle or SFES bar, which we call in this company, and this is called a Z-bar. What is transporting? The moving of a single unit truck or up to 4 units at the same time is transporting. You've seen on the highway, you've seen guys piggybacking trucks. People affectionately call it piggybacking when you see trucks kind of stacked on top of each other moving down the highway. What is delivery? Delivery includes removing all shipping and hardware, saddles and Z-bar, also the removal of all wooden fenders, mud flaps, and saddle. Fifth wheel components. And the fifth wheel components, there are things around the fifth wheel that you'll need to remove. Additionally, all brake air supply hoses, light wiring must be removed. When you get these trucks, they'll be wired temporarily for transport purposes. The wiring is so that you'll have lights and be legal on the highway. Also, each one of your units, the wheels that are touching the ground, will have brakes, air brakes in place, unless you're only moving one truck and you got a total of 2, and you're moving one truck to be delivered or both of them to be delivered. Sometimes you can run in some states without having brakes on that single unit that's piggybacked. Installation of axle 15, when you install axles on all the trucks, every time you deliver, you're going to have axles to install in your tires. They go through the tires into the gearbox, or the what we call the transfer case. Installation of antennas and exhaust pipes. You'll have sometimes you'll be delivering trucks that you also need to install the exhaust pipes on the ones that normally run up the side of the cab and on the top of the truck. You'll need to install those, and also there's antennas that you'll need to install to the top of the trucks. Easy stuff to do. And there's also times you'll be installing the brake lights in the rear of the truck. The fixtures, you'll be installing those. And those are pretty difficult to install when it's a one-man delivery. Installation of antennas and exhaust pipes. Installation of brake air lines. Okay? So you're going to have to know how to put those brake air lines back together, because sometimes you'll remove one truck and then you'll still have 3 trucks to go. So you need to shorten up your wires, for your lighting, and then shorten your airline. So you'll have to be able to put those things back together and make sure they're functionally working. Installation of rear light fixtures. Talked about that already. Boom.
There's the end right there.
The video. I'm not gonna let you go through all that. But what happened in this video, I was okay, I can't even cancel the sound on that. Alright. So what was going on in this video is that I was backing the truck off the FES or the Z-bar, and to prevent that truck from hitting the Z-bar and possibly puncturing the oil pan, I had to stack wood underneath the tires and back myself off at 2 or 3 feet at a time. Alright? Time management. This is the critical thing in decking and undecking trucks. You might be making 58 cents a mile decking and undecking trucks. Sounds good with these companies. They tell you that, and it's true. You'll make 58 cents a mile, or you can make it as little as 56 cents a mile. Just depends on how many trucks you got piggyback. Long story short, what happens is, before I went to this company, I was with another driving company, and you know, if you're making 39 cents a mile, but you're getting 3,000 miles a week, you're making decent money to bring home. And that was the great thing about those other companies. What happens when you're doing transporting, undecking and decking trucks? Transport and undecking, this stuff takes time. So you're not going to get 3,000 miles a week when you're doing this work, because you're going to be figuring out problems like this. That saddle dropped down off the fifth wheel into that compartment. The saddle itself, this yellow thing, is what we call a saddle. It weighs 158 pounds. It was that day out there in South Carolina, it was probably 100 degrees plus or minus 2 or 3 degrees. And I'd already been working 3 or 4 hours. You're going to spend 3 or 4 hours undecking a truck. Even if it's just one truck that needs to be undecked, it's going to take you a little time to deliver that. The more you do this job, the faster you get at it. So don't be afraid to be slow and safe in the beginning. But these are the problems you'll have, and you're not going to get your 3,000 miles a week. I don't care who you are. You're not going to get 3,000 miles a week, because you'll spend time undecking and decking trucks. All right, so there's that. So new drivers just need to be aware of those things. Time management. Again, delivering costs the driver time. What this means, before you hand over the keys, you must remove all shipping items, clean your work area, and reinstall and reconfigure all safety lighting and brake lines. Okay? So you're going to have to put that stuff together, your safety lines and brake lines, and then you have to clean up your saddle, stack it off to the side. Some places are real good about this. They even have people who will help you do that. And there are other drivers who will be delivering at very large locations. They'll be delivering too, and they'll help you get stuff squared away. You pack your bags up full of your wiring and your airlines, and somebody will eventually come pick that stuff up from the location where you delivered and left the bags. Workplace hazards, extreme environmental conditions. You are going to be delivering trucks, undecking in 105 degrees, right here, 105 degrees. You will be undecking in the rain, the sleet, and the snow. It could be freezing below zero, and you're still required to deliver those trucks. Mind you can take your time, but again, that's time spent on the road. That's time you're not making money. This company I was with, they pay you a flat rate. If you got 4 trucks, you get more money. If you got 3 trucks, you got less money. If you get 2 trucks, you get even less money. So, and that's the flat rate. You still get your miles no matter what, and your miles are based on how many trucks you got into your distance, of course. All right. So, workplace hazards again. You'll be working in the rain, sleet, or snow. This was in Greer, South Carolina. The weatherman said that morning it was going to be about 94, and it was a little more than 100. And here we got 105. So I just average out this in my own head. It was probably 120 102 or 103 degrees outside that day. Okay? So the next slide, you'll see I received a second-degree burn on my hand. I was working out in the heat, laid down a tool somewhat like this one. I laid it down in the sun on the back of the truck in the back. It got hot enough that when I grabbed it, I felt like a shock kind of feeling. I didn't drop it immediately, but I held it in my hand a little bit. And later on in the day, I noticed I had a burn in my hand. So second-degree burn. Those are just some of the things that can happen to you. I was at the point of heat exhaustion several times on this job because time is money, and sometimes I would expose myself to that heat a little bit longer than I should, to the point I was dizzy and just needed to go sit it out for a bit. Now, the Greer, South Carolina delivery. This is a video. I'm not going to let you take you through the whole video. Hopefully you'll see this is the installation of the axle right there. Okay. And then this is the amount of mass you'll have laying around as you're delivering the truck, preparing for delivery. All right. Next slide on it. Morton, Illinois, manual exhaust or manual hoist. Get strong. That's exactly what it is. A lot of times you are going to find that you got manual hoist. Not every company has electronic hoist. Most of them have a manual, and you're going to be, maneuvering that thing up and down and moving your trucks and vehicles in order to undeck them. It's a tedious process. Again, it's one of those things that takes time. Also, if you're delivering a truck and you're not prepared for this, say there's a problem with this truck, something's missing, you're going to again take more time delivering the truck. Especially in this case, I was at a dealership, so they can take the truck and get it fixed. But if that was not a dealership, say it was a company that does customized trucks, like put boxes on the back of the truck, delivery van kind of thing, then what happens is, if I try to deliver that truck and it's got some part that's malfunctioned or something missing, I got to stop what I'm doing, take that truck to a dealership, could be 50 miles away, and it happened to me and it was 50 miles away. You're going to spend, again, your time driving that truck to the dealership to get it fixed. Again, time management is something, that's one of the detriments of the driveway business in delivering trucks. And I was just showing the time I spent in Morton, Illinois was, and I was delivering 2 trucks there, and that white truck was one of the not delivered trucks, but that was my truck to leave to get to my next delivery. So Morton, Illinois, just delivering 2 trucks on the SFES bar, the Z bar, took me 2 hours and 45 minutes the first day. It got late, sun went down, the people who control the hoist, they were gone, they locked up the hoist, so I had to shut down business and go get in the hotel room and relax for the evening until early the next morning. I went back to work, and I was hoping I would be finished by like 9, and it actually took me from 6 a.m. till 4:19 to go ahead and finish that up the next morning. All right, and make a delivery and then take my other truck for delivery. So I had to drive a single unit. And again, that's time management. And to me, the reason I'm not driving for this company anymore is because I like to get paid for my work. I like to get paid for my work, bottom line. And here we go. You're going to run, and this again, time management, you're going to run into little problems like that. SFES bar, in order to get that thing off, I was rocking that thing because I had the SFES bar on a block. So I had to rock it to try to get it off the block so it would drop down low enough so I could back the truck off of it. Those who are familiar with the business, you've probably done this, and you know what I'm talking about when I say there was a block under the SFES bar, because you probably had to do the same thing to relieve that chain in the back. This was the Morton, Illinois delivery. These 2 red ones and that white one you saw up on the hoist. They were the ones that I took to that delivery. And these 2 red ones are the ones I delivered. Great trucks, loved driving them. These trucks didn't have any governor, or they're governed at like 75. So I was able to move, and that's not normal for company drivers. You moving at 75 miles an hour, but we get new trucks, and sometimes you won't be governed. All right, going to keep my 10 minutes. Morton, Illinois. In the previous picture, you noticed that the Z-bar. I already talked about the Z-bar, and that's it. Done.